in the Gulf War. Extremely powerful man who, when he retired, became a pastor. And that's how I got to meet Art Leach. And when I think of this confusion in mind, he tells me of a story that I know, Lord, you want me to give. Art used to teach other pilots how to fly. And it's easy to teach people to fly in open air conditions where the clouds are very few and the sun is shining. But one of the problems that pilots have, and it may have been what's happened recently, is when you get into fog or deep clouds, you can get confused. And he used to tell me he would take a flight of 10 men with him, 10 different airplanes flying behind him. And they would come into cloud banks. He would purposely go on days with heavy clouds and put them into cloud banks. They had instruments. They knew how to read their instruments. They knew when they were in clouds that they couldn't see visually, they went to IFR, Instrument Flight Rules. And yet, when they came out of that cloud bank, more than half of the planes were upside down. They were upside down. And he'd take them back, and men would go through those convinced that they were flying upright, when not trusting their instruments, but their own instincts. They found themselves upside down. He said sometimes it would take 3 or 4 times before they finally get it, that only your instruments know what's truth. Do not stray from the instruments. Do not trust what your mind says, because it can fool you. We begin to believe whatever we believe, and we tell ourselves what we believe, and we begin to make it good, even when it's not, because we don't trust the Lord in His Word. This Word is IFR. It's our instrument flighting rules. It is a book that leads us and guides us. And it is meant to keep us from becoming conflicted in the heart and confused in the mind. We have lost our way. We go to the mountains only to tumble quickly into the valleys of our choice, because we trust ourselves and not lean on what God's calling us. Oh Lord, you have agonized over your creation since the very fall of Eve.